Hello, B Plus Nation. We are live tonight with John Gonzalez from Texas Tint Masters, and it looks like he's on fire over there. Can't wait to talk with him. John, say hi.
Hey guys, hey Bob, how's it going? Johnny Blaze here, reporting to you live from the Tent Lab, aka Texas Tent Masters.
Texas Tint Masters. Yeah, yeah. Hey, before we get started, tell me the one thing you like most about window tinting.
Man, the places it takes you, the places window tint can take you. I started off in a truck accessory shop as a bedliner, and I was watching your past podcast with Donnie Dixon, which
Yeah,
man, that was very heartwarming. It hit me to heart when he said that he had started off at a paint shop,
yeah.
and I remember doing bedliners, man. And it was just like the nastiest job. You're full of dust all day. You're you're full of bedliner all day, man. And I remember seeing the window tender there, and he'd come. They scheduled him cars, and he'd come, and I mean, he had the shorts on, he had the Bluetooth in his ear. I mean, I always idolized that. Those were my rock stars back in the day. I was like, you know what? I want that job. I want to be a window tinter. He has the AC booth. He has, it was just something to me. It just caught my attention. So yeah, I started doing that, man, and I practiced. I tried to get him to teach me. We had a good rep back in the day. And he worked at Lumar. He was a really good rep down here in the southeast of Texas. And and man, it just that's just something that I caught on. I met really good people in the industry at an early age, not knowing what it can become. And yeah, it's just been ups and downs, with the industry, more ups than downs. And I also, you know, seeing people now, seeing where it's going, it's so exciting. It's brought back that fire that I had on um, when I first grabbed onto it, and we're talking about maybe 10 years plus, on and off. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that as you were learning, that was Donnie Dixon you were learning with?
No, 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 no. I saw your interview with Donnie
Okay.
Dixon, and
Yes.
I could relate. I could relate to his story when he was
Okay.
saying about him working at a paint shop late hours, and he grabbed on window tint. And that right there, I was like, oh wow, I can relate.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy being behind. It's not easy working in those kind of environments where you're breathing in dust all day. It's just you know
Yeah. But there was something about it. You wanted that freedom. You wanted to be uh, cool, and you wanted to work on cars, and you had
exactly,
that pull to you, and then so you
exactly.
got in. You got someone to teach you. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Back in the days, we had a baby powder method.
you
And we
don't powder shrink now.
no, no. I do. Here in Houston, it's a very humid weather, and once in a while I will use it. But I've found through good mentors, good people to teach you that had the patience to teach you how to use other methods. Because I was at first, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this was like 2005, 2006. I was still seaming windows, like Donnie Dixon was saying, like in the 90s,
Yeah.
because I couldn't shrink it by myself. I always had someone, shadowing me or, taking the reins when it came to a part where I couldn't get to. So yeah, that's just, a little tricks in here I learned with the industry, good people that took the time to teach me, because that takes a lot for them to teach you um, their craft, because
Yeah.
it is a craft. It
It
is a
is.
craft. It's not just something you're like, hey, anybody can cut hair. No, that's a craft. That's a skill.
Yeah.
It takes a certain kind of person, certain kind of patient. So yeah, and slowly moved on to bigger and better things, and
Yep, yep. Well, I hear that you're well versed in not only auto but flat glass as well. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Also too, and that's another story. I mean, when I started doing window tint, I thought it, like everybody else, like the customers, like, oh, that also goes on houses. I didn't know that. I didn't pay attention to that. So when I got the opportunity to work with a great company here in Houston,
Yep.
and they took me on. I mean, I was very green, and I thought I knew it all about window tinting, but it took me to from being at a shop and being in places where I didn't think that window tint could be put on and how it could be used, and also how people use it. Because there's different. You got decorative film. I didn't know about frost. All I
Right.
knew about 35%, 15%,
Right.
and 5%.
Yeah. Black. That was it. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it, man. And I was fortunate enough to really, of course, like everybody, we had our tears in that doing flat glass. We had our, frustration moments where you're just like, man, this ain't for me. I'm out of here. This is boring. But yeah, I did flat glass. I still do flat glass to this day. I mean, if you give me a squeegee and a knife, and they ask me what do you want to do, put me on flat glass
Yeah.
because it's more freedom.
Yes.
You're out there, you load up your van in the morning, and you go out, man. I've been in stadiums
Yep.
where you're only allowed to be on the on the benches where people can view the game. You get to go in the back in the lockers, and it's
Yep.
cool, like you see, I grew up I like football and I like sports. So you see, like, man, through this hallway, the people that I'm a fan of walk through that same way. That's just how I looked at it. And we also got into graphics, wall graphics,
Yes.
with a lot of things that window tint from window tint, it went on to these other things. And there's and I wanted to talk a little bit about that, Bob. There's guys right now in shops that they saw it just like me.
Yes.
Window tint is just on cars. That's it. And and it becomes more repetitive. It's like, hey man, this is all it is. That's all it's gonna be. No, man, window tint takes you to places that like if you
Fun
really
places.
fun places.
And it's an adventure. I mean, sometimes you're there at night in a 10-story building and it's all closed and you're just walking around, doing your thing. Yeah, it's amazing the places you can go. From boom lifts to
Yeah,
scissor lifts to exterior to wall graphics, you name it. Yeah,
yeah,
I
wall
know.
graphics.
I feel you. I know where you're going with this. I don't
Yeah,
know that a lot of. Uh,
wall graphics to me is like my favorite thing. Like when it comes to wall graphics, it's not just a sticker that goes on wall. Of course, there's different surfaces, and different ways to apply the vinyl that goes on to that. Of course, you got textured surfaces, you got brick surfaces, and then you got flat surfaces, and everything is different, man. And that's always a challenge. I like a challenge. That's one reason why I got into window tint. You know, um, it's just a challenge in all this industry, man. And I love it. I honestly do love it, man. I can't go back, and I would, if I got the chance to go back, I wouldn't change it. I would change a little bit of things on how, of course, age perfects you, shapes you in a certain way. I would have had a different attitude towards a lot of things. If you know what I mean, like
I
I have
do.
an attitude, appreciation, more of appreciation to it, you know,
Yep.
for when I first started. I was just focused on one thing, and then I completed that mission. That back window,
Yep.
that back window was my challenge, and you don't know how many tears I had in those back seats, man. It was just such an emotional thing when I finally got it, and I was like, wow, like I finally did it. What's
Yes.
next?
Yeah. And then it was on. Then it was on. You
Yeah.
just you kept going and kept going, and pretty soon it just became second nature. But you know what? I was talking with Carlos last week, and I can really see what he sees in you. You know, he's a great guy, and what he sees in you is the fire and the passion. Okay, I can tell you that by our conversation, and that's what he's most excited about. And me too. I like to see that and see what window film can do, and to see the young guys in the business fired up and see where they can go. And you're not just going and splattering, you're going and experiencing one step at a time. You've paid your dues. You've been in the game for what, 20 years?
No, 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 no. Close
10,
like 10, like about 11. Yeah,
11
11
years?
years. Yeah,
But
because
I know that company you were with, and they're a beast. Okay, and
oh
so
yeah,
you got years of experience in a single year. Okay, I
yeah,
mean
yeah,
you were humping butt. Okay,
yes, yes.
and
I mean, I owe them a lot of gratitude. You know, when I went in there, they're like, "You're a window tinner?" Yeah, I'm a window tinner. You know, like everybody, right? Like, yeah, I'm a
yep,
window tinner. It's like,
yep.
oh, can you put this film on this glass? He put me on the spot right there and then. He's like, can you put this? And I'm still having the idea, the installation method as an automotive. So I'm cutting the glass, without peeling the liner. I'm putting the film on the glass,
Sure, you got to cut
uh,
it first.
and pre-trimming it, and then peeling off the liner, and then, but like you said, the guys that were there taught me, you know, hey, there's a different way of doing this. You know,
Yep,
it's let's reverse roll it. Let's cut it. You can cut it when that with as long as it has water behind on the adhesive. You know, you can still make your final cut and squeeze you out the water. Perfect. You know, so yeah, like you said, like they were a beast, man. I thank them a lot, and you know, it's made me. I saw a window tint like this, and now I see it like you know the screen's not big enough. So
yeah, that it's
I see it
true.
way bigger than what it is.
It's true. That's called B plus, buddy. That's called B plus. Be all you can be, because this industry is full of opportunity and new challenges and growth potential. You know, I know that you took a little time out of the industry,
Yeah,
and you were a little kind of maybe seeing what we saw in the past, where maybe shops weren't getting along as good as they should, and it
well,
was
yeah,
and then you got excited about coming back. Tell us about that venture.
okay, but so yeah, man, that like that takes a lot. That's a lot. That's a good question, man. And I hope that what I'm gonna say comes out in the right way. I got in the industry fired up because I knew there was competitions back in the days. I knew that every dealer had competitions. Hey, Medical is going to have a competition. Lumar is going to, when before Lumar became Eastman and all them guys,
Yes,
you know, they're going to have a competition. And I met a lot of hidden gems just here in Houston because, you know, Houston's a pretty big city
sure.
and we tent all year round. You know, if you want to become a window tinner, you don't have to go to California. You don't got to go to Florida. Just in Houston alone, in Texas alone, I believe, you just become a tinner. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And I think Texas is coming back. I mean, it's going to make a name for itself as you want to become a tinner, come to Texas because we're always tinning. There's always something to do here in Texas when it comes to automotive, and especially here in Houston because that's the only city I can really say. I've been to Dallas. I've seen how they do their things, and it's wonderful, beautiful city as well. And that's another city that I would say, you know, that would be another good city to start. And like how you guys were talking about, I'm not gonna go off topic, but I'm gonna go off topic a little bit. But being like driving by and seeing, oh yeah, I've been in that building, I've been in this building, I've been in that building. That was the great moments. The moments that got me, and I like to say burnt out, was when the shop owners or the people that you know that expect you do your job right, they don't let you get influenced with other shops. Maybe it's a I'm gonna lose my employee, stuff like that.
Right.
And that was my thing, man. I always wanted. They would hide the window film magazines to the side. I would go
Yep.
pick them up and read them, and I found out, oh yeah, I can subscribe to this too,
Yep.
and I subscribed myself to it, and I've just been reading them. I have my favorite articles when he talks about. It's like this. I don't know the art the publisher that writes the, like, kind of like a minion, like these nice little stories that he makes you think,
The
you
editor.
know, the editor that makes you think a little
Yeah.
bit beyond
Yeah.
what your life should be, man. I always life Those always kept me motivated. And then seeing like the big guys, the big timers, making it in the competitions, what's coming. I was always excited about it. But yeah, I got burnt out when it just became all work, all work related, and you didn't have the freedom that I was looking for to competing, to get out there and meet window tinters, and we all talk the same language. I can go
Yes.
to California and we're
Yes.
going to talk about the same car. We're going to talk about the same issues over here. I was on Tint Dude when it was Tint Dude on forum. I mean, it's still Tint Dude. And I would, meet. I got to meet a lot of good guys.
Yeah.
That I only knew them by their little profile name, and I'm like, oh, you're that guy. You're Stan. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Real humble people.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna be arrogant. I thought they were gonna be uh, uh, I don't want to tell you my secrets. I don't want to see
Right.
it. Going to competitions also steps up your game by hey, how did you shave that glass? How did you do that? What did you do? And those guys were so like, hey man, this is how I did it, because their passion was to make the industry a lot better,
Yeah.
as far as quality, what customers should expect, and what things. And whenever you take that away from a tenor, hey, get it out of here, get it out of here, bring it in, get it out, get it in, bring it out. You're like,
Yeah. You're
oh man,
killing
hey,
the
go,
heart.
yeah, go knock out 1,000 square foot, 60-inch bands real quick. But I'm gonna need you on the other side of town by tomorrow,
Right.
and that's what got to me, Bob. That's what got to me. I was like, man, this is not what I got in this for. I got in there in this business to meet people, to learn. Like I'm to this day, I'm still a sponge. I always say
You're
that,
more than a sponge, my friend. You're more than a sponge. I don't know if people are catching this the way I am, but you're right. The industry was, we didn't want our talent to necessarily know too much, okay? But it started changing. It started becoming warm, and those of us that were old dogs in the industry started like becoming the rebel and teaching new guys.
hmm
And I'm not sure people are really noticing, but what I'm noticing is the hugely positive person that you are. Okay, and seeing the glass half full. You mentioned Dallas is a beautiful city. Um, you know, uh, you've wanted to. You've mentioned the humility in other window tinners. I mean, this is a genuine heart speaking right here. Okay, and for all of you out there that might have these challenges that you're experiencing, where maybe you're being held back by a shop owner or this or that. And I'm not saying stick your neck out, but I can tell you,
Yeah,
Johnny Blades will talk to you. Johnny Blades will talk to
Johnny
you.
Blaze, baby.
Johnny, you're amazing. So you had this experience. You kind of got burned out on all that yucky side of it all,
Yeah.
and you witnessed what going on that made you say, "Hey, I want to get back into window film."
Um, I got back into it when I started adding the window film groups that I am on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I finally, like, I got that back. I got
Yes.
that. Hey man, okay, we got it going again. You know what I mean? Because I think it was like a pause for a long time. I feel like We weren't really talking to it. The reps weren't giving us hats anymore and shirts, which us Tinners, we love that. You know, you bring me a Suntech shirt or whatever shirt you want to bring me, I'll wear it. I'll wear it out for my dinner night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll wear it out to that. I'm gonna wear whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the things that I used to love, man. And unfortunately, they don't. It's hard to come by. It's coming back though. It's
Yes.
coming back, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm coming back. Like I'm reliving what I first got back. And the first video I pop up on YouTube. I wanted to go see let me see what Ralph's doing, right? And
Yep.
of course, YouTube does like if whatever you search, they're gonna put that ad on. And
Uh,
here I see Carlos. Hey, I'm the Texas Fusion. I'm back, and I'm like, what?
yep.
Where did this guy come from? And then it's like Texas. I was like, okay, maybe he's somewhere else in Texas. And then I linked on it. Oh, he's here in Houston. Okay, I'll keep a mind to that. You know, one day I'll go. Hey, man, you know, shoots. You know, go over there and sling some tent with the guy. You know, because that was me, man. And that's what I like doing. I like going to random shops and like, hey, man, do you mind if I work here for a day and work out, man? Whatever you want to pay me. I'm not in there for the money. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I can make money. You know what I mean? I can go and do whatever I want to do with my life and make money, but just to see how you do things, you know, like not how to run the business, but let me see how you put on this glass. Let's
There's a
see.
nugget right there, y'all. There's a nugget right there, y'all. He's doing it for him. He's tinting windows for him. It's not just getting the money, okay? He's doing it from his passion and the camaraderie and so on. All right, all right. So then you saw a video of Carlos
Yeah,
and it's
I saw.
infectious. It's infectious. He's turning the industry around.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. And so like I saw him and I was like, okay, he's promoting himself. Nice, you know, that's cool. You know, and I continue my video. Well, I believe like a year later or a couple weeks later, I got out the industry. I went to go do something for the winter. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break from window tinting. I'm gonna go to Oregon. I'm gonna work with my brother. We're gonna sandblast. The opposite of window tint.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sandblast. And I'm gonna go do that. And working out there, hard labor. And I was like, oh man, I took window tint for granted. Let me go back down. And I came back with the intentions. You know what? I'm gonna start my own little thing. If I get 1 gig a day, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like at Flat Glass, if I get 1 gig a day, cool. Well, one day came by, and if you don't know how to market yourself, you don't know how to put yourself out there. All that takes a lot of money. And so it's like, you know what? Maybe my time is not, and this is not my time yet. Let me humble myself. Let me get back to the basics. Go back to the basics. Go back. I saw an ad. He was hiring. I show up, and I always carry my tools. I always carry my tools around. And I was like, hey, the receptionist greeted me. He was in the middle. He was in the middle of doing a video. To my surprise, I see Michael Burt, and I'm like, I tell the reception lady, she's like, "Oh, let me get your name and number. He'll get back with you." And I'm like, and I look through the glass, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but is that Michael Burt?" And she's like, "Yeah, you know him?" I was like, "Well, I don't know him personally, but I've seen his videos, and
Yeah.
I've seen him in interviews, and I became a fan of him. I was like, cool." So I got to meet him my first day here, and there, Carlos came out. He was like, "Hey, you want to meet Michael Burt?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And that's when I met him. And then he was like, "Well, I gotta go." Carlos was like, "Hey, I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that." Um, and I was like, "Hey, well, I want to show you what I can do. Like, how can I show you?" It was like, "Hey, man, my brother's here. You know, he's me if I'm out. He's
Yep.
my eyes and ears when I'm out. So if you pass him, we'll talk." So yeah, I came. I started doing windows, and of course, it's like every shop is like, "Hey, are you sure you know what you're doing? Making
Sure.
sure. Let me make sure you know what you're doing." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm very easy to work with. If you got a way you run things, how you prep vehicles, and how you do that, uh, I'll step out of your way and I'll do it the way you do it. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
You're
I'm
legit.
putting on film on a glass. However, whatever's around me, I'm putting glass on there.
Love it. Love it. Yep.
And so yeah, and then He gives me a call later. I give him a call. He's like, call me on Tuesday and we'll see. And I called him on Tuesday. I was like, hey, man, this is John. And he right away, he's like, hey, my brother told me great things about you. He said that you can handle your own. Come work for a week and we'll see, figure it out. And the whole time I'm like, when you date someone, you're like, is she taking me serious? And is she my girlfriend now? You know what I mean? I'm like the whole time, like, am I hired? Like I didn't know. Like we didn't really discuss that. And I was just like, he's like, so I'm like, I'm good for the whole. Can I come next week? He's like, no, you're good, man. You're hired. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh, all right, good, thank God. And then so yeah, watching his videos, man, really really sparked that fire because sometimes I look at Carlos like, Carlos, do you even know what you're doing? Like, not saying that's not saying he doesn't know what he's doing, but he does. Like, I feel sometimes like, do you know what kind of beast you're waking up right now in the
Oh,
industry?
I know it.
I was like, do you see where this is gonna go? Like, and I'm glad he's very smart, very like he's a like very he thinks a lot. Sometimes it's hard to read him because he's like he's very quiet. You see him on the videos. He's this person, and you see him in person. Is like, to this day, I still get tickled whenever I see him on the videos because I'm like, how do you have that switch? Like, like how do you have that switch from going, you know, humble man, and then boom, out of nowhere in your face, like wow, like that's cool, you
Yeah.
know. And that's what kind of like, man, I'm finally working with someone that wants to do something in the industry, and I'm gonna, I told him when I first started, like, man, I want to work here because I see where this is gonna go, and I want to be, you know, if I'm not in the front, I at least want to support the guys in the back, like I want to support the guys in the back because I have a saying, the people that are first are last, and the people that are last are first.
That's a great saying because I tell you what, and you've nailed it a couple times here that about wanting to do things for yourself in the future, and you were thinking about going that route, but you said, "Hey, let me humble myself," and so on. What it really boils down to is when a person's ready to spread their wings, they have actually lived through the fact that they are the best right hand man they could ever wish for.
Hmm.
You get to be a star right where you are. And as long as the culture is good there, which we all know is amazing around Carlos, I mean, it's all about culture. So, and even broader for the whole industry culture. But you just keep being you. You keep being humble. You keep being the best right hand man you can be. And the timing will either be right or you'll realize that you can just flourish where you're at. It doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is that you wake up every day happy and you're striving. Okay?
Yeah,
Be the right hand man, and I can tell that's right, the path you're on. Be the right hand man that you wish you had. And that
yeah,
is a team right there.
yeah.
Okay?
And also too, man, what I want to say about the team here, man. Um,
Talk some
you
dirt.
know, man, I don't know. There's not too much dirt that I can say, man,
Okay.
because we're all men. We're all human beings. We all
Yeah,
make
yeah.
mistakes, and to this day, I haven't seen, I haven't pushed a button or he hasn't pushed a button towards me, so we're good right now. I call it the honeymoon stage, right? We're in the
Yeah.
honeymoon stage right now. Of course, we're gonna, but like you say, um, he tells me ideas and I'm here and I'm like, hey, you know what, however you want to do it, bro. Like I told him, you got me in a stage in my life right now where I'm like, you know what, I'm not the know-it-all no more. I was like, you would have got me a couple years back, I was the best tenor, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Sure. Sure.
And like I said, I had to go back to the basics, humble myself, and learn that, and learn to be broken like a horse. Learn to be broken. Learn. He got me at a good time in my life right now. And so I was like, you know what, dude. I'm totally on board
And
for
now you're ready to grow. Now you're ready to
yeah,
grow with that. And now you can grow because you're ready. You're ready.
yeah,
And that excites me. I reached out to Carlos as Coolview, and asked Carlos if he'd be willing to take a look at our flat glass films, and he graciously said that he'd be willing. And he lit up when we started talking about flat glass because he knows the beast he's got in you, and he's trusting that whether it's install, whether it's manage the job right, um, whether it's overseeing future jobs for maybe other installers. Because look, we don't want to mess around here. We don't want to just be another shop, okay?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want to blow this up, don't we, Johnny?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what we're
Let's.
here for. We're not
Yeah,
gonna get stuck in a shop. Like, that's the thing. Like you get that, you get your. I mean, I'm not saying stuck at a shop, but when your mind gets stuck in a shop, you become the shop. You know, you
yeah,
that's it. That's all you see.
yeah,
Um, and I always like, and maybe it might be a bad advice, but I'm like, man, go visit another shop. Go see how they do things. Go meet other tenors because they're gonna relate to you. Uh, what like the problems that you have, people already been there,
yep,
you know, and that's what the good thing about social media is that now you can put it out there and say, hey, I got this problem, and somebody right away will put out, hey man, watch out for this, watch out for that, you know. Of
yep.
course you're gonna have the little negative, you know, little funny, they're trying to be funny because that's what we are. We're as window tenders, we're like, we're just, I mean, smart butts, you know what I mean? I don't want to cuss, or I don't know what's the policy here, but you
Smart
know,
butts.
yeah, you know, we're just like, we always have an answer to something, and
Yeah,
we, you know, that's how we us window tenders can relate because we're like, we're the, you know, we know it all, you know.
yeah,
So so if one difficult thing could be another person's so easy. It could just, they can be like, hey man, watch out for this, do this and do that. Okay, and you know, you got to respect that in the industry. You have to respect that.
and so
Um,
you've got a giver's heart. You're going to be able to take the flat glass and auto. All right, I know you're doing a lot of auto right now because Carlos is stretched. All right, but when I get involved with Carlos and you,
oh
oh,
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to take Houston by storm.
Oh, oh yes, baby.
Okay.
I told him, he's like, hey man, he told me about what you guys conversated about, and I was like, right now, I'm like, bro, like jump on it. You know, I'm nobody. You know, I'm just an employee here, but I was like, hey, my suggestion is you jump on it
Yeah.
because it's cool, man. You're again, you're behind the scenes of places that you never thought you'd be. You know, you could be working in a brokerage firm, and there's people, you know, counting money all day in their computers, you know, and you're just looking at them, you know, you're window tint, and they think your job is cool. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's what's surprising is like, oh man, and he may have a master degree, and you know, it could be a doctor's field, you know, and they're highly educated people, and here you come, put on some film, and they think your job is the most coolest job ever, and that's what always brought me back to window tint. Like, man, okay, that's what I work for right there.
Yeah.
And when they see you do a decorative film, when they see you put on, you know, cut out some, when you do dusted crystal and it has all their business logos and it looks so fancy and neat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've done half-inch reveals and they think, wow, you did it like, I would have never done it like that. I would never thought of doing it that way. And to me,
Right.
it was like, you know, second nature. All right, here we go. All right, guys, here's your bill. Let's go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And they're
Half
like,
inch
oh my
re-
God, that was so amazing.
half-inch reveal. That's the easy way to give them a peephole and have that nighttime privacy, and they can see out. And so I caught that. I hope a lot of the new dealers caught that, and if not, you know, get with me or Johnny, and we can explain more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
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 and I'm always willing to teach people, man, because that's
yeah,
how you meet people. That's how you meet people, and then and that's what I want to be as far as a good teacher. That way, when they like, hey, man, that guy was such a great person, or you know, and there's more of us, you know, there's more of us out there that are willing to teach, so they can get a good vibe towards the industry, so they can get motivated to come into the industry and produce quality work, but at the same time not hound them. You know, of course, every once in a while, everybody deserves a little hounding. You know,
yeah.
but but you know, but they get a good. they get the message. They get, it's always a great feeling. I've taught a lot of people that, that they're grateful. Some, they just got it and they were like, hey, you know what, this is not me. I'm out, and I'm like, hey man, you're in college right now. This is gonna pay for your books. This is
Yeah.
gonna this is gonna this is gonna keep you busy, my brother. Don't anywhere there's sun, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not in it for I'm in it for the money, of course. But I'm a man. I gotta wake up. I gotta go to work. But like I said, you know, that's where you have to be. You have to have that mindset where it's like, hey, you know what? Today's gonna be a different day. I don't know what I'm gonna encounter. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You
Yeah.
know, because there's other people in other industries like, oh man, I'm on an assembly line. This is what I do all day.
Yeah.
And a window tinter, you don't know what you're gonna work on, what kind of
Yep.
experience you're gonna have. You can have a really crazy good day, and you can have a really crazy bad day, and it's always like up and down. And that's what keeps you motivated. But at the end of the day, the customer's appreciation towards the craft.
Yep.
It's
It
just
is a
like,
craft.
oh wow, you made my car looking simple, and just with window tint, you made it look good. Like wow, I didn't even think my car can do that. And when you're at a home and you're tinting somebody's house and they see the difference, and they start feeling the different temperatures in the rooms that are tinted and they're not tinted, it's like wow, you're gonna save me so much money. It's like it should almost be like we should be put on a pedestal, but no, no, we're not gonna be put on
I'm
a
going to
pedestal.
drop a nugget on everybody out there, okay? What you're talking about is, how we give back to the customer. They love to see their car. They love that their house is cooler. They love these aspects. But when you're in the sale, you're not the hero. They are, okay? When you can make them the hero for making that living room cooler so they can gather as a family, when you're going to help them be the hero in their girlfriend's eyes because their car's cool and he just turned 16, okay, and he can only afford color stable or something, right, and you
Yeah,
just do the best job you can. Remember, the nugget here is that we need to focus in our sale, that the customer that we're serving is the hero in their world, and we're just supporting that. And when you come from that angle, that's good stuff.
yeah. And when your kids, the most thing, I have kids, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the viewers here have kids. When your kids see other kids admiring their dad's work, because
Yep,
they see us go to work, and they're like, oh yeah, my dad's a window tinter, and then their friends see, oh, your dad's a window tinter.
he's cool.
Wow,
He's
yeah. All of a sudden,
cool.
your kids become the cool kid. You
Yeah,
know
he's
what I mean?
popular. Yeah,
And now that we're trying to get and we'll touch back to this. And now that we're trying to get more kids involved,
oh yeah,
what's one of the things that are on the agenda.
yep.
And my son's always telling me, it's like, Dad, can I tint that quarter glass, or can I tint that glass? And I'll let him whenever the situation's right. We don't have a waiting customer or something like that. I'll
Sure,
let him.
sure.
And everywhere I've gone, there's never been an issue. My kids have been in this environment. They see me go to shops, they see me work at shops, and they always tell me, it's like, hey Dad, um, what happened to that one shop that had the basketball goal in it? Like there's little stuff like that.
Yeah, the
I've
things
been
they
showing them
remember.
video. I've been showing them videos of Carlos, and they love him. They love him. They're like, oh my god, like they're always like, hey Dad, when am I gonna go to work with you? When am I gonna go with you? You got to be working at a different shop now. I'm like, well, let's pace ourselves. We'll have you in here, buddy. Don't worry, because that's my goal. My goal is to teach my. I'm proud of what I do.
Yeah,
I'm proud of the industry that I'm in.
yes,
That I want to teach my son, at least as a fallback plan, man. This is a great business. This
sure.
is a great company, great community, great business to be in.
Yep,
I wish them to do more with their lives. Every father, wants best. But hey, if this is what you want to do, man, I'm proud. And if they think what I think is cool, what I do is cool, man. That's where I say money is not about the money. You know what I mean? It's about making my family proud. It's about making the people that look up to me proud. And working with great people.
yeah.
Working with great people.
That's the key right there. You got to search out the great people and then just latch on and stay there. You don't have to put up with the negativity that's out in the industry, and it's a lot farther and fewer in between anymore. Anyway, but I wanted to come back to something you said earlier. Okay, that you like to compete in the Lumar competition, the Matico competition. Well, tell us what's coming up. Tell us, are
Okay,
you
so
you're competing, aren't you?
yeah, I'm going to
On the
Orlando, baby.
on
I'm going. I'm going. I've never competed, man. I've always been on the sidelines. I've always watched people watch my like. That's where I was saying like those were my rock stars right there, and I would see
Yeah,
them, from first place to last place. Man, it takes a lot of courage, I believe. It takes a lot of courage because there's a lot of people that know what you're doing.
yeah,
There's a lot of people on the sideline watching you and they know what you're doing. So it's like everybody becomes the customer, everybody becomes the boss, everybody becomes that. So you feel like I can always feel like the tension behind them. They're like, oh man, like I hope they didn't catch that. And there's always somebody's gonna be like, look, you better chisel that out, boy. You know. So yeah, man, I'm going to Orlando. I told Carlos, even if I have to sleep in my truck, I'm gonna go. It don't matter. I'm going there for the experience. Again, to meet great people, to meet
are
to
you
meet great
competing
people.
auto or flat?
See, this is where it changed. I may compete in both. I may compete in both. Hopefully, we can work something out with the IWFA where I can. Hey, is it too late to add another one? Because originally it was gonna be flat glass. It was gonna be flat glass because that's my. I want to say that's my strong point in the
Yep,
industry. It's gonna be flat glass. I love doing flat glass.
yeah,
Um, multi paints. Oh my god, man! I used to like I was telling Carlos, man. A lot of tinners we hate, multi paint. We hate it, man. But I got to a point where I was like, man, I got it down. I would put a movie on the side. I would listen to a documentary, and I'm doing my job, man. And it went by so much fast. So yeah, flat glass is gonna be where I wanted to be. I want to add auto. I'm getting more practice on auto. I mean, originally I started in automotive film. I started installing automotive film, and it's one of my strong points. I'm mastering now with great teachers we got here,
yeah.
here at the Tint Lab. Carlos calls it the camp of champs. You know, so
What does he call
I'm
it?
the camp of champs.
The Camp of Champs.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, like again, man, like I say, if you want to learn how to window tint, you come to Texas. You know.
Yep. So
So
when you
yeah,
go
I'm
when you go there and you get to pick from all the films, and now that you guys are partnering up with this with Coolview, you can pick any of the sponsors' films to use on your flat glass.
yeah,
So
yeah, and
I don't know what your plans were, but I'm just putting it out there. We're going to have film on the table, okay? And
and guess
between
what?
now
My
and
my
then, you're going to have
I
some.
got you. I got you, Bob. I got you, Bob, because I was gonna use somebody's film, and I'm not gonna put too much out there, but I was gonna use their film, but they've changed my mind over the past weekend, and now I was like, you know what, I want to use something good, you know, so you're on the list, Bob. You got my word, man. If I'm gonna change it, you got my word, bro. I'm
Fair
gonna use
enough.
Cool View. I'll
Fair
use
enough.
Cool View.
Fair
You
enough.
know,
Fair enough. Hey, let's see. There was something I wanted to bring up. You see, I'm all in Hawaiian attire this evening.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because now there is Coolview donated a Hawaii trip. Okay, so that it could be raffled off, and the proceeds go to Donnie
Donnie,
Dixon.
yeah, Donnie.
Yep. And so I remember I was going back through a couple other podcasts of mine trying to learn my craft as well, my new craft now, huh? I'm learning from Johnny.
Hey, we're sponges. We gotta
And
learn. We gotta take it all in.
yep, Marco, Marco bought a ticket, and he said that if he wins, he's going to donate his ticket, his win, his trip to Hawaii for two. Okay, 7 days, 6 nights, air flight, day in the bay with Tommy Silva, his 10-man crew. Okay, he's going to donate his trip back to Donnie. And so I'm making a pledge right now, Solar Solutions. We're going to buy tickets for everybody in here, in everybody's honor, at my company. And if we win, we're donating our trip back to Donnie as well. Donnie and his
Exactly.
wife.
And I'm on board for that. I'm on board for that. You know,
There's no better
I'm gonna.
cause. You know, he gets the money, and then he needs the trip. He needs
Yeah,
the
man.
trip.
Out of all the people, yeah, I think he deserves it. You know, what a great experience. You know, after all, I mean, going through all that, chemotherapy, going through all that stuff, man, you really gotta. That's another thing, another fire that brought it back to me. It's like, wow, we're actually taking care of ourselves. I mean, as far as the community, like, wow, we're really looking out for one another. You know, who's to say later on, well, and God forbid, that's one of us.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's why I say I was watching one of your videos and I was like, man, you know, because I wanted to see, well, you know, what's Bob really like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I saw that, man. I was like, wow. I'm an emotional person. I'm driving to work, like, you know, because it's how passionate. I'm glad that we're back to that. I'm glad that we're back to taking care of one another. You know, maybe some people see it, maybe some people don't, but later on they'll see it. They'll be in that time of need where, you know,
Well, those
once
are
it
great
once
words, man. We're back to taking care of each other. And it's not just in bad times. We're taking care of each other in good times. We're uplifting each other now. We're
exactly.
solidifying positivity, if that's a word, okay? Um, you're being plus. Look out, look out.
You're being plus, yes,
You're
sir.
being plus. You know,
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it's all about, man. If you go to work, man, and you're not happy, maybe you should take a self inventory of yourself before
mm,
you know, because it's easy to blame your boss. At the end of the day, it's easy to blame your boss, and if you really want to take a good inventory of yourself, um, what do you want to accomplish? You know, first thing, you know, and if we talked about, you know, what I want to accomplish in this industry is it's the unity again. It's not just that, but you know, we're making each other laugh, you know,
yes.
with the video, not laugh as in we're laughing at you, but we're all laughing as one whole community
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
you know. We're all laughing towards one, you know, one thing, and that's why I tell Carlos, like, man, dude, I respect you for what you're doing for the industry, man. And it makes it so easy to come to work knowing that you have someone that's fighting the good fight with you, you know, and you're teaming up. Like me, I felt like, man, it was, you know, it was a privilege. It's a privilege to work here, you know, knowing that he's doing something, you know, for the community, because it's not just here's an instructional video on how we cut window tint,
Right,
and
right,
this is how you put it on, and this is how we're gonna do it. So
right.
everybody, yeah, you know, I respect those videos, but now we got something out of in your face, making you laugh at a hard day work, and you're just like, man, I want to see something on video. I want to see. Let's just see what they're doing. Boom, and you get this
Yeah.
energy, and it brings it back. Like, oh yeah, that's just why I'm in it. That's funny because I've been to every shop, not every shop, but I'm saying I've been to shops where I've always been that. I try to be the guy that, you know, picks up the morale in the shop, or
Yes.
I've always tried to be the person that, hey man, don't worry about it, you're a window tinner, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
You know, so
You
it could be
know,
worse, is what I've been trying to say.
you're blessed. You have a wonderful man to partner with and grow with and share your life with right now. But I truly think that the nugget you just put down there was, um, if you're not happy where you're at, start with taking personal inventory. I
Yeah.
think a lot of that comes back to if you have a North Star and you have a direction, you have a meaning to your life, a personal vision and mission statement, it's all going to be good because you're striving for what you're after every day. It's helping you make decisions what's going to be allowed into your life, whether it's negativity or not, or whether you're going to have the courage to go out and seek that happiness. It all starts with that personal inventory, that personal North Star, that personal vision and mission. Man, Johnny, you're just throwing down the nuggets all day,
Man,
man.
hey man, you don't know how long. I mean, I'm not saying I've been wanting this. I've been wanting to put my voice out there because I'm not really big in posting on the groups. I'm not really big on I'm going to continue. I am going to start getting more involved with the groups and putting out more advice. At least, just to, maybe make someone's day, make someone laugh, because that's what it's about, Bob. It's about, we all can window tint.
Yep, yep,
We all can pick up a squeegee. We all do the same thing, but what we need to start doing is taking care of ourselves, and that goes through the whole industry, from reps taking care of the business owners, from companies backing up their reps. You know what
yep,
I mean? Because I've seen the good and bad.
yep.
I've seen the really good and bad, and early years in my maturity, I let that affect me.
Right.
I let that affect me because I got into the not I didn't me personally get into the politics, but I was looking at the politics in this industry, and I was like, wow, man, this is messed up, man. All we're trying to do is learn how to tint, and they're keeping it from us, but you know, I know there are reasons why, and I don't agree with it, but I'm we all got to start somewhere. We
Yes.
all got to start somewhere where we can't. It's so easy to be like, oh, that's why I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna point my finger and I'm gonna be like, that's why I don't want to do it. Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna put out the quality because they're not gonna back me up. Because we could spend all day long. Like, hey, man, this company didn't do back up this, and this company didn't do that. We can do that all day long. You know. But what are you doing about it?
Just take care
You
of
gotta ask.
business.
You
Just
gotta ask yourself. You got
yeah,
to ask yourself, what are you doing about it? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's easy to put rants on social media or make a
right.
video and criticize that person and criticize this person, but anybody can do that. But
Yep.
that's what I liked about here. This is what I like about the Texas Titmaster Camp of Champs is that
Camp a champ.
we're gonna do our own move. You know what I mean? We're gonna do
Yes.
our own thing. But also we're not gonna do business. We're not like that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that with you. We're not gonna do. No, we're all welcome in.
Yes.
If you want to be positive, if you want to do great things in the compute in the community and not
Go,
just look
man.
after yourself, everybody makes money. Don't worry about what he's making. And one great person, I've worked with somebody who's like, you know what, man, I don't have competitors. I was
Mm.
like, whoa, why do you say that? He's like, because I don't have competitors. If I start seeing them as competitors, I'm gonna get bitter
Yes.
because I'm always gonna watch. I'm always gonna be, what is he doing? What
Yep.
is that person doing? And what is that person? It's like keeping up with the Joneses, but in Windleton. you
Make
know, uh,
make him a friend and go be an uplifter, and you learn way more.
exactly, because there's a difference between a finger and a fist.
Okay.
You see that?
Do it
You see
again.
that? There's a difference between a finger. If you try to push an object with your finger,
Okay.
it's more stronger if you use the whole fist to push through. And
Amen.
that's what I've always wanted to do with this community, with this window tint business, man. When I started working here, being, I want to say like an activist towards this community, it's brought out that fire again, you know, um,
Well, you're getting
getting
your voice. B plus nation, you're witnessing it tonight. There is a star born. Okay, there is
Johnny
a
Blaze,
star
baby, Johnny
born.
Blaze. Don't
Johnny
forget it.
Blades is on
The
fire.
one and only. You can't clone me.
Yeah, right on, man. I love it. I love
you
it. You're
know,
fun, and to think you were a little nervous when we got started here, but man,
yeah.
you're a natural. You're invited on here anytime you want it.
Thank you,
Okay,
Bob. Thank you, Bob.
that is for sure. Man,
Uh,
tell us your opinion of the tenor battles. Is that going to be fun or what?
Man, when he told me about that, I really didn't know he was
Unreal.
organizing that when I first started working here. And then I started seeing the people that are going to work on. One of them I've worked with before, Mike, Mike Nord. I've worked with him before, man. And you know, he's a great person, great teacher. You know what I mean? He's always been I've always kept things that he told me that always stuck in my head, and he would be like, "Hey, John, how much is on that roll?" I'd be like, "Well, I think there's like 7 cars still on there." I was like, "Don't think, no." I was like, Wow. Little stuff
Mike,
like that.
who is this?
Little Mike Norg from ATF. I think it's ATF. I think he has
Mike
this.
North. That's where we're going on Sunday.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, that's
both days.
his facility. It's gonna be his facility. Yeah, yeah, great
And
person, man. You know, over time, I've learned to like. At that time, I didn't like. Again, I was just like, you know what? I'm just a window tinner. I'm just gonna come in here and bust these cars out, go home, and that's it. At the time, and now looking back, man, and how he's moved up, and as far as being more involved with the community, man, it has also, you know, he gets a lot of respect from my book. You know what I mean?
yep.
He gets a lot of respect from my book. So seeing him, it was seeing him in the group. I was like, hey man, if you got, I mean, I'm like, don't tell Carlos this, but if you got somebody to worry about, is that guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't.
Oh boy.
I shouldn't say that. Well, I probably won't be wearing this hat tomorrow, guys.
Oh, you will be, man.
No,
It's what it's all
but
about.
yeah, man. Like again, it's about the cause, Donnie
Yep.
Dixon. It's about let's put our businesses to the side. Let's put all the bad blood to the side. But let's look at the craft and let's look at what this is for. This is for a person in our industry that's he had bad luck. If he believes in luck, he doesn't believe in luck. That's his opinion. But he just got a bad luck in it. And us as window tenants, we're helping each other out again. That makes me fall back on this community again. That brings me like, hey man, I got people that got my back.
Yes.
It's not just a one way street here no more. You know what I mean? It's hey, they got my back, and you know what? I got their back. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So that's what brings back the fire as well.
Well,
Uh,
we're all in the same business. We're
yeah,
all
we're
in the same business,
all
not
in the film
separate
business.
businesses, you know? So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had to leave the B plus nation here with one word of advice, something that is outside of the box, not mainstream, what would it be? Throw us a nugget.
And just love what you do.
Oh,
Love what you do and love it to the end because at the end, that's what pays the bills. That's it. You know,
well,
love what you do. When you learn to love what you do, my wife even tells me, Lee, that's all you talk about. That's all you're like, you're such a tent geek. It's such a tent nerd, because, of what it stands for, what it's brought me and where it's taken me places, and where it's taken me out of, you know, that's what I want to say. Learn to love what you do and love and just live it. You know what I mean?
when it's love, you can't get enough. And when you
Love
love what you do, you can't get enough. Man, that is some good nugget. I'm not kidding you. Johnny, it has been my extreme pleasure having you on here. We're going to have you back. I can't wait. Um, B plus, it has been my extreme pleasure to introduce you to this man and for me to get to meet him. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We had a great time, and remember, no matter where you're at, you could be feeling like a two. Just strive for a 2.5. Okay? Form those habits of being a little bit better than where you're at. And those habits will supply you the rest of your life. Okay? Because success is not a destination, it's a series of habits. Be in the habit of being plus. Johnny, thank you. B plus.
Thank you, Bob. Everybody, let's go.
Good night.